Okay, this is part 2. The camera just glitched a little bit. So just to recap, I am drawing this queen design in 2-point perspective. So I've already mapped out the crate or the rectangular prism that I'm going to be drawing within, and I'm going to start planning out how I'm going to draw the queen. So I've got my crate ready to go, and I'm going to draw, I want to start mapping out where I'm going to draw on sort of her crown that she's wearing. But before I do that, I'm going to place in a very light center line down the middle of my crate. And the reason I'm doing that is because so I can try and be symmetrical on each side. So I'm going to start by drawing the one side of her crown. And then from where I decide to finish on the bottom of that line, I am going to once again draw a really light construction line over to the other side, so I know where the distance that I'm going to stop from this side, and I'm going to try and reflect that angle. I don't think I actually did that well. They look quite different, that angle, but that's all right. And then from here, I'm going to map down, because this is how the shape goes. So I come down a little bit, back out. So if I'm doing a horizontal line, it needs to use a vanishing point. Okay, and I'll do that on the other side there too. Okay, cool. And then that is the shape of the queen. So I'm now going to get rid of that center line. And what I'm going to do is go from my left-hand vanishing point, and I'm going to just copy over all the lines that I need to get to the back of the queen. And so that is every time my shape changes direction. From my right-hand vanishing point, I'm going to pop in the back of the queen piece there. And now here, what I have to do is I have to copy what is happening at the front of the shape on the back of the shape here. So I'm just following all of the angles or the vertical lines that I have drawn in. And I'll also just need this tiny little line over on the side there. Okay, and then I just remove the elements of my crate that I no longer need, and hopefully you can see the drawing. Might have to go over some of these lines. Okay, so I'll just pop these lines back in and rub them out a little bit. These should be our medium line weight. Okay, cool. So that's my queen design. I could have made that triangle a little bit more exaggerated, but here we are. Okay, my exterior lines of my shape, they should be the heaviest. Doesn't have to be too heavy though. Just make that pop off. So going over all of these lines really quickly but neatly. Okay, great. Okay, that's Queenie. All right, so last but not least, I'm going to pop in my king design. So for this design, I might do this guy here with the V cut out in the middle. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to draw myself a rectangular prism or a crate, following exactly what we've done 5 times already now. Okay, quickly draw that in. Let's put that in, but this side's going to be wider. Okay, great. Alright, I'm just going to take away this construction line that I had from the queen. It's in my way, so I can really see that crate. Perfect. Okay, once again, on my front face here, I'm going to put in a center line. Okay, because I want to make sure that I'm mapping out so these are symmetrical. Okay, so I think the V is going to dip down to say this point, and then it will come back out again. Is that deep enough? I think so. Okay. So then I'm going to halve each side of my shape, and I'm going to come in, and once again I should probably map out here where I'm going to land so it's symmetrical, and this is quite a steep vertical. I'll do it on both sides. And then where this one is going to go. Alright, I needed this line actually to come all the way out to the sides because I need it for the... Okay, so then here I'm going to then halve where I am there. Brilliant. Okay, so then from the very top corner down to my construction lines that I'm mapping out. Okay, so you can see that that's starting to come together. And then it comes back out from that point to the corner. And I can do that on both sides, so I'll map it out to the corner. Cool, so you can just see I'm changing directions a couple of times there. I'm going to erase that middle line that I drew because I don't need it anymore. And I'll need to pop in some additional lines for the shape to read correctly. Cool. So now, every time my shape changes direction, I'm going to need a line that goes back to my horizon line. So I can then go from my exterior corner and I'm going to follow the same angle here. So I grab and drag, that comes up and then comes back out to my horizon line. I'll rub out the lines of my crate I don't need because it starts to look a little bit confusing otherwise. But this is where your construction lines are going to be so important because of now with drawing more complex shapes. If you don't have your specific 3 line weights and that construction line weight being the most important, then your page is going to get really busy, really messy, and you're not going to be able to see what you've drawn. Okay, so I'm also going to just take away the crate from the back edge. Awesome. So it's coming together. You just see all I need to do is input the lines that I'm missing from the internal of my shape here. So I'm going to draw his little V there. Okay, and then I'm lining up with the corner at the back and just coming down until I hit the shape, because that will be the one line I am missing. And there you go, you've got the key there. I'm going to go over my exterior lines. Just go with those nice and dark so they read properly. Excellent. Alright, and that's my king design. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys produce for your chess piece designs. Be creative, really try and practice with your 2-point perspective, and have resilience most importantly. So the last step here is just to take a photo of my work and place it into my student workbook. Okay, well done guys. Congratulations, you've finished another sketching task.